Ugh. Ugh. Welcome back to another edition of Inside the Lab with your host, the one and only CP. Boy, 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 oh boy, what a shit fest last night. All, I mean, we had two commissions. One was working. One, I'm not sure what Coop was doing. B Mill was hooping, and we didn't. The schedule didn't get stuck to. We didn't follow it. Regardless, draft went down. Was a good, in my opinion, the draft class was awful. I don't think there was any superstar X factors. A couple superstars, but no X factors. And I just think it was like a down year. No one got that big guy. Like I had the number one pick. I took Andy Dawson. He was an 80 star. Apparently he's paranoid, probably because he's in a big fucking city of New York, and so we'll see what happens. But like I just, in my opinion, if you guys think the same, that'd be great. If not, whatever. I don't give a shit. Um, Also, real quick, Micah Parsons and Patrick Surtain, I cannot trade them. Um, B-Hag signed those guys to long-term deals, so if I trade them, I think uh, Parsons is like I'd have like 50 mil in cap penalty and Surtain somewhere around the same thing. So what happened was, just to be transparent with the league, I traded Fields, Pollard, someone else, I think, over to the Eagles, and I ended up having like 98 million in cap penalty. So I was trying to work out a deal with Parsons, and it just wouldn't go through. Brian helped me out because technically, per our agreement with the Eagles and the Jets was that he gets players, I get players. Now his players, the players that I gave him were all on a way bigger contracts and whatnot. And I have to apologize if you hear fucking footsteps and shit in the kitchen today. So yeah, I had like 98 million in the cap penalty. Couldn't do dick. I had like $4 million to spend. So, anyways, Brian helped me out, took care of it, cleared it for me. Just to be transparent, I'm here for the league. I'm an integrity guy. Rob also landed another superstar, 62 quarterback drafted by the computer. So I think that's like 4 years in a row that he got a superstar or above quarterback. So kudos to his scouting department because they're doing fucking a great job. Can you guys answer me this real quick? Does Matt Jaffe ever shut the fuck up? I mean, I'm just kidding around, but like, I mean, he's always got something to say about something. And now that we're division rivals, I will not speak about him on this podcast anymore. He takes up too much of my time. No, I'm just kidding. Love you. Great content. But we have a great show lined up for you today. We got Coach Levi of the Washington football team should be joining us here shortly in about 5 to 10 minutes, but I'm going to do a couple things as the year goes. We're going to start our shout out to Coach Marcellus of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Gave me a great idea. I'm going to do the recaps, the games played, and then as we get going, I'm going to start looking out for X factors, who's in the hunt, who's trying. I'm like excluding the guys that are already X factors. So most of the games have been played. I'm also going to add in my opinion, the game of the week, and I'll do a little recap of that. And then I'm going to have some players to watch this year. So we're going to kick off with Houston beats Detroit 38-21. We have Mexico City over the Chiefs 35-17. The Bears over the Vikings 49-21. The Bears love to run the football. I think they got rid of Derrick Henry and they got two studs. They got uh, Big Roy Seymour's younger brother, Julius, down there in Chicago, or up there, or over there, I guess. Whatever. The Niners squeak by the Buccaneers 24-21. The Titans beat the Snowhawks 21-6. The Bengals laid on the Ravens 70-14. He said he ain't fucking around, so watch out. The Chargers, who said he was going to tank right off the rip, said didn't even look at the schedule. Said I'm tanking. Ends up winning 34-7 over the Broncos. The Rams absolutely annihilated the Giants, and Eric Crouch Jr.'s first start did not go well. It was 87-7. So, you know, the Rams are. He got fucked making the playoffs last year, so he's coming to make a point. Or he's out to prove a point. We had the Jets 33 over the Dolphins 18, and our game of the week. The game of the week. The Carolina Panthers take down the Atlanta Falcons 27-14. Now, the score seems like it was a little closer than it actually was, but I believe Coach Jaffe had a 2-3 touchdown lead on them the entire game. Big Roy takes care of business against the Falcons, right? Big Roy didn't have great numbers, but what he did was Coach Jaffe picked up CMC, Christian McCaffrey, in the offseason, and, you know, he's got the X factor at Roy, so now he's win games. I think that's his division to lose, so we'll see. Um, Big Roy was 9 for 15, 201 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Gordon, I think it's Gordon Smith, his rookie superstar tight end, had 4 for 95 and a touchdown. Kerry King was 25 for 38, 460, two TDs and four interceptions. Billy Shaw had 7 grabs for a buck 97. I guess Billy Shaw's TJ Tornetta. I'm not 100% sure. Um, and Jordan Owens had 2 touchdowns, 132 yards. Adoree Jackson also had 10 tackles and a pick. So there you have it. Big Roy and the boys take care of business over the Falcons. So right before Levi comes on, right? So I got a couple players that I would like just a heads up. Now these guys could be going from superstars to X Factors or MVP candidates or Rookie of the Years or whatever. But there's a few guys that I saw that popped out on me week one. We got Paul Wall of the Cincinnati Bengals, Nicky McIntosh of the San Francisco 49ers, Julius Seymour of the Chicago Bears, along with Marquise Bowie or Bow of the Bears as well. Master Teague, running back for the Lions. Billy Shaw, aka TJ Tornetta of the Atlanta Falcons. Braden Weston of the previously Seattle Seahawks, now Houston Oilers. Zach Cooks, wide receiver for Cincy. Dion Chapo, wide receiver for Minnesota. Davis McLean, Chargers. Kevin Foster, middle linebacker for Denver. Dante Hatcher for Tampa, and then Sean Hill. I don't know who Sean Hill plays for because I didn't write it down like an idiot. But you know, so I fuck up sometimes. You know what I mean? Whatever. But those are my guys to watch. You know, it's going to be a great year. We're waiting on 2 games. They're going to probably kick off around 9 p.m., which is fine. We had the draft last night. So we're excited. We're ready to go. I'm going to hit up Coach Levi and let him know, hey, brother, we're in. We're ready. Come the fuck in. Let's get it rolling because that's what we're all about. We have a good show coming up tomorrow. We got Coach Matt Dale. And then on Friday, we got Coach Mark Pyers. So we are good to go. Oh, we got the Philadelphia 76ers on tonight against the Washington Wizards. So that should be a good game. Excited for that one. Um, you know, the MML. No, not yet. Here he comes. Kicks off, and here we have it. Why is loading in here?
Hello, hello.
What's going on, Coach? How we doing?
Great, man. How are you?
I can't complain. You know, it was kind of a nice slash muggy day. Um, just kind of relaxing, man. What's going
Yeah,
on
what
there in
was
Indy? You're in
Uh,
Indy, right?
yeah, yeah, and Eastern time.
Eastern
It is
time.
Eastern time.
Right,
We're
right.
supposed to get like 8 inches of snow the next 24 hours, so we'll
So you
see.
haven't got any? Has
It
it
rained all
started?
rained all day. Snow's supposed to start within the hour.
Okay. So real quick before we hop into it, are you from this area or are you originally from out there?
No, so my dad's from out here.
Okay.
My mom's from New Jersey. I grew up in the Facton, Audubon Elementary, Arcola, everything. Didn't
Okay.
move here full time till I went to Indiana for school and then stayed.
Okay. So
But
you grew up here and then you rolled out and said
yeah,
peace
I
out,
grew up.
Philly.
I think I grew up near someone in your family lives right near me because I grew up in the neighborhood that Brian lives in now.
Ah, yeah, my uncle Mike.
Yeah, he lives like 3 houses down from my
Ah,
family.
really?
Yeah.
Ah, that's funny. Small world. So is that why you're Chicago Bears, Indiana Hoosiers? Who else? So you got Indiana Pacers.
Mhm. Yeah.
That's what. So because of your dad, pretty much then.
Yeah, my dad's from Northern Indiana. Colts were in Baltimore as a kid, so it was Cubs, Bears. And then he went to
Ah,
Indiana. My
that's
mom's from New
cool.
Jersey, didn't care about sports. My uncle's a Jets fan, Yankees fan.
Yeah, yeah. I would pick that route too. You know, if I was that little and I had to pick, I think I'm going
Yeah.
Bears over
It
the
was tough
Jets.
growing up, the only Cubs fan in the Facton, but
Yeah,
I get a lot of messages when they finally won, so
yeah.
that was nice.
How was your feelings on that? Because I mean, you probably like it was kind of like me. I know the Phillies won back in '80 or whatever. I wasn't alive, obviously, but when they won in '08, it was like the
Oh
greatest
yeah,
feeling in the world.
that was
Even
a
when the
party.
Eagles won.
Oh, incredible party.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. So you're did you graduate with Brian? You got same grade and all?
Yeah, yeah,
Ah, okay, so that's cool. So you knew it, them guys growing up. That's
yeah.
awesome.
I wasn't ever like in their friend group, but I knew who they all were.
Ah, gotcha, gotcha. Sometimes life throws some curveballs. But anyways, so thanks for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. It's
Honored to be here.
yeah, I know people are busy and whatnot, but like I want to. So we're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna talk about the Washington football team, and then we're gonna kind of get into your background
All
of
right.
how you got into the MML and whatnot. So
Yeah.
what are your expectations this year? Because you're a guy like me, right? We're not super good. We're not awful. We're average at Madden.
Right at
Like,
the
and
average.
literally, and we're like 8, 9, 10 wins a year, and that's it. And like in the division that you're in, you got Dale, you, now B Hegs, and
Mm-hmm.
then Stoy. I
Right.
don't know his first name.
Damn.
So, what do you think you guys can do this year?
Well, as Joey put my over under at 8.5 wins, I believe I've gone like 9, 7, 3, 9, 9 throughout these 5 years. So he's right on. The goal every year is 10 wins and a playoff berth. That's the
Right.
goal every year. If I'm lucky enough to get a playoff win, it's incredible. I think I have one or two in my history in MML, but 10 wins, playoff berth is the goal every year.
And you're exactly like me because I'm like I was saying it the other day. I was like division titles and playoff
Mm-hmm.
berths and maybe a playoff win, and I consider that's a good year.
Oh,
You
it's an
know.
excellent year.
Now I was in a division. Now obviously I would if I was looking at the like power rankings for that division. Obviously I think Dale's won
He's
year
earned that.
two, right? Because I think out of this is our sixth season.
Mm-hmm.
He's won it what 4 times, and you've
Yeah,
won it twice,
Dale won it 4 times. I think I was the runner-up the other 4 years.
right? Now what
Dale's earned that right for so far. He's got the best of me.
it always seems like with Washington, right? You guys have these really slow starts where you're like 0-4 or 1-3 or whatever, and then you make this like 6 game run where you're just winning, and that it seems like that last game always comes down between you and Dale. Always comes down to something. But what's up with them slow starts? Is it like because I think you kind of know what your offense is, but
Yeah,
like you're just what's up with that? Is it like the schedule or
I mean the schedule's always part of it. My schedule did loosen up last year. That helped fuel the run. I mean, I've had twice now. I've had a win and in game to end the year. I've lost both. You beat me on one when Jared Goff went for like 30 or
oh
30.
yeah, that's right.
I was beside myself.
Yeah, he had like the best
And,
game of his life.
yeah, and then Dale got me this past year in a heartbreaker. I don't have a great. I really don't have a great explanation. I mean, I know I have areas I need to improve. I think my roster's at a spot where I like it. some I just make it's the interceptions. It's always the
Yes,
interceptions.
it always is. Now you like, but see, you had Patrick Mahomes, and you
Mhm.
decided to trade him away for. I don't. What was that draft? What was those picks? We talked about it a couple episodes ago,
Yeah,
but from you, like from your viewpoint, why would you trade Patrick?
I
Because I would never
I
trade him.
when I was talking to Nate about getting Patrick, I was stunned that he was willing to move this guy for the rest of MML. I'm set. I've got my quarterback, but I didn't have any receivers, and I'm not good enough to just dev up guys. I Rondale had like 150 catches one year, and he went from normal to star. I never got a dev game, so I'm sitting there with Mahomes throwing the Lockett and Rondale, and I just couldn't get the offense moving. And then Ramsey messaged me. He's like, I want Mahomes. I'll send Lawrence. I'm like, okay, he's a superstar. He's young. He could be a fair replacement. And then he threw in Shark, so I got an X Factor receiver and 2 firsts. And I'm like, okay, I get the receiver. I'm still having the superstar quarterback. I get some picks, which he ended up tanking one year with when I had his pick, and that got me my the 86 overall safety.
Oh yeah.
Now in the long run, because right after I made the trade, Rondale Dev twice got to X Factor, so now was rolling out Lawrence who has a superstar and 2 X Factor receivers. I'm like, all right, I got playmakers now.
So actually, I didn't realize it went down like that, and I to me that seems like you kind of benefited because I totally forgot about that draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
He was like
Yeah,
what, like an 84 or something?
86 star free safety as a rookie was unheard of.
And is he a stud?
He's pretty good. He's got 1 speed upgrade up to 90, so he's pretty good back there. But if I get an ability on him, it'll be huge.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Holy shit! I mean, 86 is unheard of in the drafts.
Just, I lost my mind.
So what is your offensive game plan like?
Well, that's a great question. I've got 3 receivers with 94 speed or better that I can throw to. I've tried to work in more of the play action from watching the streams. I added the formation that the Bengals use into my playbook. I kind of like how Forrest does watch and get better.
Right.
I'm a decent runner, but like if I get too pass happy, that's when I lose it, and I realistically I need to get in the lab with him because I lost to Dale in that winning in. I had like first and goal on the 2. I ran it twice, got sacked, threw an incompletion. I don't have great short yardage plays. If I need 5 yards, I don't have a go-to play. So that's really where the offense struggles.
But see, that's kind of weird because you have an X factor running back as well with Damian Harris, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Damian Harris. He's been great.
You just don't use him a lot.
I definitely don't use him as much as I should. If it's 3rd and 2, I'm like, well, shit, I need to throw like a 5 yard route. I need to pass it. You really should be running the ball there and
Right.
utilizing. I got him to human joysticks. I really got to be utilizing that.
Now is Trey or not Trey Lance? Is Trevor Lawrence the guy?
I'd be hard for me to move him. I'm never gonna dev him to X Factor. I'm not that good. I'm
Right.
never gonna go for 7,000 yards. He rejected my contract last year to franchise him, but he's still only like 26, 27. He's like 93 overall.
Oh
It'd
wow.
be really hard for me to go a different way unless I luck into a quarterback like Rob has.
Let's for a second.
It makes no
I've
sense.
never seen somebody not draft and get. I think it's been because he just got that guy last
Mm-hmm.
night.
It's like 3 years runner up.
3 or 4 years in a row, and I mean, out of all those guys, I think Fowler was the best. But
Fowler was maybe the best quarterback prospect we've ever seen.
oh yeah, dude, he's a stud. I just don't understand. I just don't understand it, man. I can't even
You
sniff a
got you
quarterback.
had first overall. You lined up what you thought was a top prospect,
Yeah.
and then he gets a superstar in round 5 or whatever. It's obnoxious.
Now, did you play your game yet?
No, I'm playing Stoys Cowboys after we finish our interview.
Where'd the hashtag waiting for Washington come from?
Well, I go to the gym 2 nights a week. I play volleyball 1 night a week. I'm married, so when she gets home from work, we watch TV together till she goes to bed. So I try to play daytime. Right now, I'm a busy season. I try to play late night. People want to play, between 5 and 9. That's usually when I'm spending time with her. So there's a lot of times where I was the last game to be played because I would kick off, close to 9 or something.
Hey man, it
I try to be
happens.
flexible, but I'm just
Listen,
not as flexible as everybody.
I get it. What did what's the volleyball team mad at you? Didn't you miss a game
Yeah, I skipped
because
our season opener so so I could be at the draft.
how mad were they?
I didn't tell them why I couldn't
Imagine
go.
that. Imagine telling your teammates that you couldn't be at the game because I got this
hmm
Madden
Well,
league.
they all know about the league. When we play kickball in the summers, and we've had a 6 o'clock game, and I won't hang out with them after because it's an off season night. So I'll be like, I gotta leave. It's draft night. They know.
That's
I
funny.
felt bad. I felt bad with it being the season opener.
So, all right. So, which leads into the next set of questions. How did you get into the league?
So from the Coach Dale tree.
Okay.
Dale's in my core high school friend group, and he's arguably the most liked person ever to come out of Acton. So he's friends
All
with
right.
everybody. He's in my core group. He's obviously was in the skip back house, friends with all these other guys through sports and whatnot. So he started messaging our group me one day about this league that he joined in, telling us the drama, meltdowns, and I'm like, I got to get in. So he put me on the wait list. I took over T Oaks Giants. Yeah, remember when there was a wait list? I took
Mm-hmm.
over T Oaks Giants when he went on one of his wilderness adventures.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd been playing Madden. I have a franchise with one friend. I'm the Bears. He's the Bills. We were playing on All Pro, going 16-0 every year, meeting at the Super Bowl. So I'm like, all right, I got to be decent.
Right.
First game in MML. Loaded up Twitch for the first time. Sent the stream to everybody. I played a non Washington team. I think I finished with like 40 yards of offense. I lost like 42-0. And I was like, all right. I messaged my friend. I was like, we need to switch to all Madden. I joined this league and I got demolished. We're not as good as we think we are.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was your like welcome to the MML moment.
I thought I would be okay. I knew I wasn't going to be the best in the league. I joined the league. I went to like the standings, rankings, whatever it is, and I saw Taddy was like 126-4, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to beat him.
Right.
Thought I could be decent. The Giants I took over, no disrespect to T.O., great guy. He'd already traded away the first and second rounder for each of the first 2 years I was in the league.
Yeah, I mean, that was year
Wasn't
one, right?
no, I joined my first year in the league. I think was like the fourth, fifth year of
Well, I'm
me.
saying year one, like as like the first, like when
Yeah,
like Caddy was the Chargers, right?
yeah. That was in
Okay.
20. So I'm like, I was terrible every year of 20s. I'm like, I'm not going to make the cut for 21. And then they said I made the cut, and I was just thrilled.
So then you were the Broncos, was it?
I think I was the Jags
Oh, you
pre-nuke.
were the
I was
Jags.
the
That's
Jags
right.
pre-nuke. I had Baker, Dalvin, Will Fuller. That was probably my favorite team that I've
Yeah,
had so far. I
and
think I won a
then
playoff game as the Jags. That was a lot of fun.
you were the.
And then I was done for.
How was your feelings on the nuke?
Oh man, I was devastated. I had just it was the down. I was declining on the Jaguars. Baker had hit like 30. I had like a star dev rookie QB. I was starting to boost up. I had you see each year I end up with 2 firsts, three
Right.
seconds, 2 thirds. I was had all these assets, and you just nuked the league. I was just devastated because
Where were
I
you?
knew building phase, but I was so excited to rebuild because we were hitting the
Right.
point where it was basically all rookies.
Right. Now, where were you when the nuke happened? Were you just home hanging out? Because I
I
went.
was at home.
Yeah, because when I talked
I
to
don't remember what
Brian,
time of day it happened, but I was at home. I work at home mostly. My office has always been optional, so I work at home mostly. And it just happened, and I was devastated. And Megan got home, and I told her, and she knew it was real. She humors the league, but she knew it was real based on how sad I was.
right? It was funny because when Brian told that story, I don't know if you heard when he was like playing, he was in an
Yeah,
NHL
he was on
game and he was the
NHL
goalie
facility.
and he just like left the game.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a sad day. I mean, honestly, like yeah, it was a sad day, but it worked out for me because I was in Taddy's division and I was not doing well. And
The only problem that came from it is we were everyone was so invested. I didn't think
uh,
we started to lose people. The reboot just wasn't the same because people had invested all this time and it was gone. They just weren't as motivated. I didn't think the reboot was still great, but we really had some turnover in there.
oh yeah, because there was a while where we couldn't field, like we couldn't get. We had like 25, I
Yeah.
think 28 maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't get a full full team because no one really wanted to
The
like.
hearts weren't. Everyone's heart just wasn't fully back in it.
Yeah, when something like that happens, it just takes a lot. Like all that work you put in. Like even though
Hmm.
like my team wasn't great, but it's like still like all that went into the into it, and then it's just like, like, are you fucking kidding me? This fucking dude, fucking just nuked it. Yeah, I mean it was. So what was your like when you first came into the MML, right? And they threw you in the group meet. I think at that time there was always someone like blowing up because
Hmm.
we had a lot of characters. And
Good way
so,
to
what was
put
your
it.
first like intro to the group meet? Because when people get added, they need to be told like, "Yo,
Uh-huh.
just a heads up." My brother's always flying off the handle. There's somebody always flying off the handle. So
I think
just, you know.
I originally almost got his Jags after one of his blow ups way back in
Oh,
like
really?
preseason. Yeah.
That's funny.
Then he came back. But I mean, I knew the league when I joined at first was more Methacton than it was now. I think
Yes. Yeah.
so.
100%. Yeah.
I knew all the guys for the most part. I played frisbee with Rob, so I knew how if when Rob got angry, what would happen. So
Yeah.
I always just enjoyed it from just like an outsider's view.
Right.
I just took it in. I stayed quiet for a while, I think, because I was like, I wasn't really that close with all these guys. I'm not playing great at the game. I'm not going to get involved in anything. So it was just really just it was quite an experience to see just what happens, what people get mad at. I never even thought of all this stuff, changing positions to change abilities. None of that stuff had ever even crossed my mind.
I think
So
for most of us it
I
didn't.
learned a lot real fast.
Right. Like these motherfuckers are not
Hmm.
fucking around.
I was
Like,
like, we're just playing a football video game, man. We're just trying to have some fun. I was not thinking about cheating to get my roster elite or
right.
any of that stuff.
Yeah, these guys dove way into that. Like it was just I remember when all that came out, it was just
Mm.
like it was just
Yeah,
nutty.
I was just learning that it was all even possible.
Right. Like I didn't know any of that could go down.
Hmm.
What's your favorite part of the MML?
I mean, everyone loves the off season. I love building. When I know I'm not a bowl contender, it's like what it's all about is building a roster.
Right.
But I mean, you just see how much everyone loves being in the league. Like Warren's interview from yesterday, he only knows what, three, four of us like personally, and he's talking.
Right.
He's an incredible player. He talks. He's in a league with Micah Parsons for God's sake. Like
Right.
he can play in any league he wants, but he called this league his favorite. Like it's just how much everyone loves being in the league is my favorite part. 'Cause everyone has fun. Everyone's enjoying it. Win or lose. Obviously, people get mad losing. I
Right.
get mad losing. But just like everyone's just like wants to be in this league and wants to make it great.
I know it's one of them leagues. It's like you just don't want to like one. You don't want to miss anything, and it's like
Exactly.
because like I was saying it the other day. I forget. Someone left. Tuck left,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
I don't know. That was definitely sad. But everyone always comes back or once back in.
It's
You
too
know.
much fun. Like even Jordan was willing to take over the Steelers, and I'm like,
Uh,
you
yeah.
can't play the Bengals twice a year. You're gonna quit.
There's no like I would not want him to take over the Steelers.
I straight told him no.
I want to get him back in the group me. That way he could just
He's great.
kind of because he's funny as shit. He's another Methacton guy, right?
Yeah, his brother was our year, so he's a couple years younger
Oh, okay.
than I am.
So yeah, I mean, so how'd you feel like when um, you got Washington and you saw like your division lining up? Like you thought you had pretty good chances,
Yeah, I
obviously,
mean
right?
the very original before you joined, before even Jordan. I don't even think Dale was in the original. I think it
No,
was
I think.
someone else, and he wasn't ready to commit to MML. And I told him like who the league
Oh,
had opened up. I was like, you got to join. It was like the original Eagles. Like, I don't know him. I
yeah,
know
he's like a
he's
good
like
friend of
well
mine.
liked by everybody, but he's not really good at the game.
No, he's not.
Like I really felt when the divisions came out, I was like, all right,
I got
I
a
got a
shot.
chance here. I know I'm very middle tier, but you throw me with a bunch of middle tier guys, we're going to rotate division titles each year.
Right. So yeah, so I mean, listen, I love the MML. I'm sure you definitely love the MML, but
No,
we
it's
have
incredible.
this thing, right? I don't even know how it happened. Me and Ahmad were talking about it. Were you one of the founding members of the Degenerates chat?
So I think I was. I don't know. I think you started the chat.
I'm pretty sure I started it.
It was like you, me, Ahmad, Seth, and Tommy, who spent like a month in the MML. I
Right.
think we talked about one of us threw a bet or something in the group chat, and we're all like, and the few of us, yeah, that sounds great. Let's do that. And I think then you started the league, and we started talking more. I have no idea how it's exploded into what it is.
Yeah.
The chat was dead for like 8 months, and then I might have posted something back in there,
Yep.
and all of a sudden Tommy's throwing in 5K winners and NBA props. I
Ugh.
wasn't betting NBA props. I wasn't even. I did daily fantasy on FanDuel. I never like. That wasn't the app I used to bet.
Right.
But like that's the app that has all this NBA stuff. So
Right.
I
It's
got it.
it's
It's
so
incredible.
funny. It really is because like I swear like sometimes I feel like it's just us three, me, you, and Tommy talking, and I've never even met Tommy. He
No,
was
me
like you
neither.
said, he was in the MML for like 2 days, and then he he uh, he just comes out with these ridiculous like and it's funny because like he'll send us some stuff, right? And like
Hmm.
sometimes I'll follow, sometimes I don't, right? And then he'll send like out of nowhere, he'll be like, "Yeah, baby," and then
Yeah.
like you see like $100 bet and he wants 20K. I'm like,
Yeah. I'm like, why didn't you send us
where the
the stuff?
fuck was that at, dude?
You sent us all your losers tonight.
Yeah, right. I'm like over here like following every loser he has. But
Uh
take
huh.
me back, right, to our epic day,
Yeah,
right? It's a hell of a day.
that was incredible.
Because you're the one who like originally got me like because I thought we were done. Um, explain what was going on with you that day.
I was watching a movie on Netflix with the lady, and I was just one. I think Barnes had hit. It was Barnes, Reggie Jackson, and someone else. I don't remember who the third player was. Barnes had hit, and I was following the end of the other guy had hit. I was following the end of the Clippers game on my phone, and he had 6 assists with 3 minutes left, 2 minutes left. I saw assist, and then I saw a guy, hits, pull up 3-pointer, but it didn't show assist. And then the next shot assisted, and then it said 9, and then you posted like, yo, he's got 10. And I looked, and they changed that 3-pointer to have an assist. And I paused the movie, and I looked at her, I was like, we just won. We just won big. I My biggest win before that ever was like maybe 400 or something. Now
Right,
this is
right,
winning 5,000. I'm like, this. How did this just happen?
right. It was wild because I remember I was sitting and I was just like I thought it was done and I was looking at my phone and like where I have my setup is like I have my Xbox and shit upstairs because I got better connection, and my living room's like across there's a wall separated, and I have a chair, and I rolled the chair over to my girlfriend, and I was like, "We just won," and I was like, "I just won 75 fucking $100,"
It
and
was
the
incredible.
first thing she says to me, she goes, "How do they tax that?" I'm like, "Really? No congratulations, no nothing? Like, are
They
you
probably
fucking
do
kidding
tax.
me?"
I mean, I'm sure they do. We might get a tax bill. I don't really know
Yeah,
how it works.
I don't know because they take the taxes out of the winnings.
Every
Turn
state, every state's different.
Yeah, I turned around.
My, my rules are different than yours.
Yeah, I bought a car. you know.
Like, we upgraded our honeymoon flights on it. Like I just like it was insane.
Yeah, I mean that and I mean that chat is like I mean I stay locked into that thing like all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nothing that I would have probably ever thought of
Nah.
before this. Like I'd occasionally done a 3-point prop on the Barstool app, but like they didn't have the customized that FanDuel has, and then all of a sudden I'm seeing this and like he keeps winning, so he's betting more every day.
Well, because he kept winning and he was win. I mean, he had that one win was like 30 something,
He won 35K and then he just won like 20K.
and he won 20K, and then he's throwing these bets out there, and he's just like his $100 bets are like our $25 bets.
That's the point we've reached. When you win that much, you can bet that much, and
Right, and I'm
I love
like,
it.
dude, good for you. you know what I mean?
Seriously, all power to him. It's great. I mean, it's fun to see. It's fun when you always see those winning bets tweeted and like people posting. So it's nice to know that like, okay, I actually know who this person is.
Right,
Maybe one day one of ours will get posted with his.
right. And I've seen his get posted before. I just it just blows my mind. I'm like, bro,
Mm-hmm.
start sending like all the fucking shit you got, and
Mm-hmm.
like I said that yesterday. I was like, dude, you could tell me Matt Geiger's coming out of retirement, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
fucking following and
Yep,
scoring
I would
30.
bet it
I'm
without hesitation.
without hesitation. Like, are you kidding me?
Yep,
Um,
the only rule right now is take whatever he takes.
oh yeah, I mean,
Usually, the first time we don't, he's winning 100K.
yeah, and he's throwing it like he. I don't even think he realizes he does it. He like throws it at us, and we both like it. We're like, yeah, good job. And inside, I'm like, you motherfucker, where was that?
100%. I'm like, I'm thrilled. I'm truly am thrilled for him. I'm
Right.
very happy to see him win, but I'm very unhappy that he didn't tell us to take it with him.
You sent us fucking six losers and this one winner you didn't send us. Like, what the fuck, Tom?
Oh no,
Oh, it's great.
it
Yeah.
is
So,
fun though. It is
how,
fun.
I just seen this. How are your feelings on your Washington football team being the Washington Commanders now?
I kind of like football team. It's pretty. I think it was fun. I really want to know if I. I think because we're like in the franchise, the game won't update. But I'm
Yeah.
wondering if Madden's just going to update as a whole.
Like the next like update, it'll just be
Yeah,
like the Commanders.
yeah.
Yeah, it probably should.
It
I mean,
might, it might be for like play. I don't know. Unless they're probably done updating Madden at this point. They never update the game.
yeah, no, I know. It's at the point now where it's he fucks. It's at the point now where it's like too late in the year,
Mm-hmm.
and But I mean,
They
I
don't
think
care about us normal gen people anymore.
right, exactly. And, I mean, Commanders is cool, I guess. I think
It's very neutral. It's not gonna. It shouldn't upset anybody.
right.
Is it exciting? Eh.
No,
But
I
it's
don't
not.
think
It's,
so.
it's it's not gonna bother anybody. At least it shouldn't.
Right? No, yeah, exactly. And I mean,
They need the real life organization is just a disaster. They needed to play it safe.
yeah, they are garbage. There's a lot of shit going on in Washington. They do have some cool kind of jerseys. Those black ones are pretty fresh.
Mm-hmm.
If you've
Yeah,
seen them.
I did see they're selling a lot. They're selling a lot. So like Fanatics, like number one selling jersey today is Terry McLaurin. So I guess they did something right in that.
I guess they know what they're doing, you know. So, real,
They
what's up?
spent like a year and a half figuring it out. They
Right,
probably millions of dollars of research. So they
right.
better be good.
Yeah, they better hit that one. What's up with your Pacers, bro?
They stink.
Like, they got all the tools. I don't get how they're not good.
I don't either. They've got a very they're talented enough rosterized to be 5 seed, 6 seed. That's how I feel. I mean, they've got obviously they've had some injuries. T.J. Warren hasn't played in over a year, but they have pieces. They have talent. The players don't stink.
Yeah,
The team stinks.
I just don't get that. Like Sabonis is like a double double machine.
Mhm.
Levert's like super athletic. They got Brogdon, who's the defensive monster.
Yeah,
Uh,
Turner.
they got
Turner's top of the league in blocks the last couple of
yeah.
years.
I
They
just
just something's got to change. They're on their third coach in 3 years. You can't blame the coach anymore.
no, yeah.
Someone's got to get moved.
They
It's time.
they're probably headed. You think they're headed for a rebuild?
The problem is the owner. The owner won't rebuild.
Oh,
The
really?
owner, the owner, the owner's the guy who owns like all the malls, like the Simon family.
Ah.
The fact that they're last in the league in attendance, he refuses to like do a rebuild. He likes to retool. So he
Mm.
doesn't want
One of them
Sabonis
guys.
move for a rookie and a draft pick. He wants him move for a guy who maybe 2 or 3 years younger that can help him
Right.
contend quicker. The owner would pick being the 8 seed 10 years in a row over like a year or two with a top 5 pick and then a chance to contend. Like the stat is something like they haven't picked in the top 10 in like 25 years or something like that. Like
Really?
they just don't tank.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's kind of a good thing and a bad thing, you know?
I mean,
Like,
it's fine.
right. But that's
They
it.
had, they had those years when they were the 1 seed. They
Right.
lost to LeBron every year,
Right. Yeah,
but
because you had like Paul George and what's it, Lance Stevenson and what was that guy's name? The big dude.
Roy Hibbert.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah,
beast for a couple
he
of
was a
years.
monster.
All right, backtrack to
They're just an
MML.
incredibly mediocre franchise.
Yeah, I mean, you could say that about the Sixers too. I mean, after Al Iverson, we went through that period where we were just mediocre, then we tanked, and now like this is
But
like the
that the
best.
process got you a top 5 player in the league.
Yeah, yeah.
When's
I
the last
mean,
time the Pacers had a top 5 player in the league? Never. The answer is never.
well, Reggie Miller,
But was he a top 5 guy in the? He might have been.
he,
He was
he's
up
he's
there. He got
he's
them to the
definitely
finals once, but
yeah.
like
He also had
he
to
was,
go through Jordan every year, so that's
yeah,
like you
yeah.
know.
It's just they just never have. And players don't come to sign here.
Yeah. So what do you think like MML wise, right? I've been asking everybody goat talk.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is the greatest from when you started? Because obviously you came in and Taddy already
That was
had
already
his
established.
dominance,
Yeah,
right? So then you came in and then, B Mills won a couple and then, Taddy's won a couple. But there's also been other ones. So we haven't seen that run by Taddy. You know what I mean?
I think I still have. I've only played him a few times. I've never. I don't even know if I've ever been in the same conference as him, but I still have him one. I don't think I've ever played him and lost by less than 30 until B-Mill's close. I think I've got one career win over B-Mill though, and I've got one or two
Mm,
career wins over Jawan. And they're my 2 and 3 with Joey a close fourth. Obviously, Warren might end up better than all of them, but longevity he just doesn't have it yet.
right.
Taddy just has it. He knows where to find the holes in the defense. I always have a roster right now is like an 88. Last year it was like an 89. But no matter what I do, and this really goes for all the top guys. No matter what I do, no matter what coverage, someone's always open. They're always finding the spot.
Yeah, it's
It's hard for me to get away from Taddy, even as close as B Mill's getting. He's close, but he
right,
needs like 1 to 2 more bowls to pass how dominant Taddy's been for so long.
right. Now, what do you think about Joey's run last year or last season?
Rookie normal quarterback tearing it up. That was incredible. I mean, obviously his roster's incredible and
Right,
Peyton's a god, but like that was truly a testament to him that he was able to do that and get through that way and make the run he did. I was really impressed. Really
yeah, I don't
impressed.
think we've ever seen like a run like that because at one point he was 3-4, and
Yeah,
then he
he,
worked it.
he wasn't going for the playoffs. He was going for the dev of the QB.
Right, I had his pick, but when I was the Eagles, I had his
You had
pick.
him feeling great.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is gonna work out good. I'm gonna tank. I'm gonna have a one pick, and then I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
have the mid rounder, and then it all went to
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah,
Um,
I had Cooper's pick like 2 years ago when he was Devin Bobby Dickinson. I thought he was. It was the same thing with him. He was like 5-9, finished 8-9, something like that.
right.
That was just absolutely incredible by Joey. I was really impressed.
Like I consider that to be
It might be the most.
probably
It might be the most unlikely run we've ever seen.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's probably the best run to a Super Bowl that I've witnessed in the MML, and I've been in every season.
Yeah, because the guys that are in it every year, you have the expectation
Right,
that they're gonna be. It's their guy. It's their
right.
year. I I I did not expect Joey to do that this year. There a
I,
couple of years ago when he made the bowl, he had a great roster. Aaron Rodgers launching it. That made a lot of sense. This one just didn't make sense.
right, and when he beat Brian, I didn't watch that game because I was like working, but
Mm.
I mean, after that, I was like, holy shit! And then fucking Buffalo.
That was incredible.
That
I
was
was so unfortunate that game lagged out in the middle or whatever happened, killed the momentum. I really thought that was going to flip a switch, but
do
to
you
throw that
think?
three straight pick sixes to end the
Hmm.
first half of that original game, that's not it's not what you normally see.
Now,
It's
do
not
you
like
do you think if that game never desynced that it would have been still the same outcome?
yeah, I think he was up big enough. He had the extra momentum of that current session. He was more when a desync happens, you get nervous. You might get a little panicky, and he was locked in for
Right.
the restart of. I think he would have held on. I think he would have held on.
Oh, I got to plug the laptop in here. About to die. Hold on. But
Okay.
who do you think can do it this year? Who do you expect to be there?
I'm really hoping the Lions win a playoff game. I'm really pulling for him. He's earned it.
I
He's
think the
put so
whole
much
league's
on that
pulling for him.
roster. I really think he's earned it. I'm expecting Jawan to win the Super Bowl this year. How mad he was to go 12-5 and miss. I looked at all of his free agent signings. He's built the roster he wants. He's got abilities at basically every position, whether or not the player's even good anymore. I mean, I saw he signed both X Factor middle linebackers who are, 80 overall, something like that. He just loaded up abilities everywhere. I think it's going to be his year. I
He
really do.
he just beat uh, Coach Dale fucking 87-7. Like
Yeah,
he's on a mission. I think.
I think he's playing very angry this year. I mean, the NFC is great. I mean, Cooper's great. Lions are great. He's got to deal with obviously his division, which is great. So it's always a tough road. And then he's expecting Jags, Bills, Browns, Bengals in the bowl. So it's not easy, but I really think this is maybe the most motivated we'll ever see the Rams.
Agreed. What do you think about like how they did the divisions this year with the top eight and into
I mean,
divisions and then everyone else?
as a mid-tier guy who is lucky to beat one of those guys, every 2 3 years, I think it's great. I'm personally thrilled with it because it gives the rest of us a chance at a division title every year. It spreads out who you're going to play in the playoffs, and it even spreads out how many times you play them each year. I mean, the NFC East gets the NFC West this year, so I'll play all four of them. But on a normal year, then you're only getting one. So
Right.
from my perspective, I like it. It makes the only downside is I think it makes the top eight. It makes them all better because they're having to try harder every regular season playing each other.
Right.
They're all getting better, not really faster. It's hard for them to get much better, but they're all refining their skills more than they would if I was playing, B-Mill twice a year. He has to try harder to beat his division than he would me twice a year.
Right. So you're pro like going
I'm
into
pro.
next season. You
I'm
want it to
pro
stay the
overall
same.
setup. I get that you shouldn't go 12-5 and miss the playoffs if you. I get that. I understand the Rams' frustration, very much do, but I do think it's best for the league the way it's set up to keep the top eight together and allow for some more parity in the other divisions.
Do you think the MML can improve on anything?
I mean, they're trying. It's hard. I mean, there's a lot of personality in this league. There's a lot of
Right.
people that complain. There's always complaints every day. Last night's chaos with the delayed draft. I was eating dinner at 8 o'clock. I didn't mind, but I
Right.
just meltdowns of everyone league wide. It's hard to make change stick. I think whatever they figure out with the CPU games is important. I'm good with no position changes beyond what we already have. Injuries are never going to come back on. I was pro injuries. I understand why they're not going to come back on. I'm probably not going to vote for them to come back on. The advanced schedule is aggressive,
A
but
little bit.
it's a little aggressive right now. I'm in busy season for audit right now. People better be ready to play me at midnight. But really, outside of figuring out the CPU games, I don't really know what else could be is a good feasible idea for improvement. I mean, the best players every year is still going to get their devs.
Right.
No matter if we have a rule for CPU games or not. If someone can only throw for 400 against CPU, then they'll try to throw for 500 on me. Like
And you
that's what it
probably
is.
get it. You know what I mean?
I mean, I enjoyed at least when Taddy was Devin Wilson. He apologized to me, in the first quarter. I'm like, you do what you got to do. I get it. I'm going to try to stop it, but I know I can't.
Right. Right. Who's your favorite personality in the league?
Rob.
Yeah.
When Rob's locked in, I mean, in 21, he was in my division, so we played twice a year. It was always a blast.
Yeah.
Air raid, Noah Fant. It was so much fun playing him every game. I love the energy he brings when he gets heated about something, when he thinks he found someone that was cheating. And the league's just so much better when he's active and locked in. It really is.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. He is probably the best character in the league just because of that. Like you won't hear from him for like a couple days, and then all of
Yeah,
a
he just
sudden,
pops in. Yeah, it's
right.
just it's just incredible when it comes in.
Well, listen, Levi, I really appreciate you, taking the time out to chat with us and hop on here.
It was a pleasure, man. I love that you're doing this. I've listened to every episode. This has been absolutely great content. Really enjoying that you're doing this.
Thanks, brother. Good luck in Washington this year, and I'm sure I'll talk to you in about 20 minutes about
Yeah, it's
what's
six
going on.
six ten. We got to figure out what's going on at 7. I know
Yeah, we
Tommy's
got to get on
Tommy's
Tommy's
watching on
ass.
Steph Curry for the Sixers. We'll see what
Not
happens
yeah,
with that.
right. Well, listen, brother, I really appreciate it, man. So you have a
Appreciate
good
you as
rest of your
well.
night. Good luck with volleyball this year, and
We'll
stay
miss you in the
warm.
NFC East. All the best for you in the AFC East.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
Take care.
There you have it. Another great fucking episode with Coach Levi Snow of the Washington football team, Washington Commanders, whatever you want to call them. Guys, it was another great day. Tomorrow we're gonna have another great episode. We got Coach Matt Dale of the New York Giants. It's gonna be fan fucking tastic. We'll get the lowdown on this uh, the beating he took. I was in a party chat with him. He just couldn't stop him. So looking for big things. We got about a couple, 2, 3 games before advance. So everyone get your games in and have a good night. Go Sixers. Peace.